What's up everyone, it's Milo from English Premier League News. I'm back with some match analysis. Some great games of football happened over the weekend. I'm sorry I couldn't post it yesterday, I was very busy, but yeah, I'm back today, back better than ever, and hopefully I can deliver you the match analysis. So we start out with Friday night's game against Everton versus Burnley. Now Everton actually started this game really quickly. Burnley just simply failed to contend with them really because of the quick passing play, the balls into Richarlison. Yeah, it was a nightmare for Burnley, and Burnley aren't really a very fast team. They're an old school team. They're big and strong. So Everton were just too quick and too clever. But Burnley worked hard, and yeah, unfortunately it wasn't their night on Friday night. So could we see an Everton challenge for the top six or even for the top four in years to come? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, what do you think of Everton's season so far? Let me know. Now we get on to the Saturday lunchtime game between Tottenham and Bournemouth. So yeah, this was an absolute nightmare of a game for Tottenham because they managed to get not one but two people sent off in the same game. Now Son, I don't know what he was thinking, to be honest. They had most of the early chances. They were looking really good, playing some really good football. Bournemouth are on the back foot. But Son, out of nowhere, retaliates over what was just a push by the looks of it. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. So Son gets sent off. And the really confusing bit I found for me was, although Alderweireld was on a yellow card, he's your most experienced centre-back. You need to keep your discipline in these type of games to stand a chance of getting something. And he took him off for Juan Foyth, and then Juan Foyth gets a red card for what was absolutely ridiculous challenge. Probably worse than Son's, with the leg up, studs very high. So yeah, I didn't get that from my perspective. So Tottenham, they're probably not going to lose the top four by 8 goals, but we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, still not confirmed, but all but there, to be honest. Bournemouth, comfortable in mid-table, so I'll get on to the next game. So we get on to the next game, which was the game between West Ham and Southampton. Now, West Ham were obviously the better side, don't get me wrong about that. It was 3-0 to West Ham. Arnautovic with 2 of the goals. Arnautovic, yeah, I think the fans have forgiven him from his desires to go to China, which is obviously good, and he can be positive for next season. As for Southampton, I think they've massively improved under Hasenhüttl, under Mark Hughes. That it was just boring. They had no identity, and they kept leaking goals, which is obviously not what you want. So Hasenhüttl has got them playing in the right direction, and I think they can have a better season next season. On to the next. Now we get on to the next game, which is Wolves versus Fulham. Now I'm struggling to work out how Fulham have got all this momentum and unity back in their team, because they really did push this Wolves side to the limit, and they may have nicked a point out of it. But Wolves have had a tremendous season. The midfield bossed it with Dendoncker, Moutinho, Neves. So many big names in that side, and they can really push on to Europe maybe next season, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, I don't know how Fulham have been in the relegation, where this has come from. I don't know. It's just been a chaotic season really, and if they went about this season in the right way, then maybe it could have been so much better. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know whether they'll get back up. The Championship is a very tough league, but with the way they're playing, if they carry that on, they've got every chance. I'm on to the next one. So the next game I get onto is Cardiff's unfortunate relegation to the Championship, when they were defeated 3-2 to Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace were obviously the better sides. Zaha, Balassi, they have the players that Cardiff don't have, which is the players that are going to make something happen, force the issue, and make their own luck, which is exactly what they do, and probably why they've been safe for the past 3 or 4 seasons, really. And Cardiff just wish they had the money to spend to get that type of player, which kind of summarises the job Neil Warnock has done for them even being in the Premier League and nearly being safe. So it was a cagey game. For Cardiff's point of view, Palace were right up for it, but Cardiff just struggled to get that momentum, and when they did, it was a little too late for them with the goal that made it 3-2 to Palace. So it's unfortunate for Cardiff, but best of luck for them in the Championship, and if Warnock can stay next season, then they might be back up, who knows. Now we get on to the final game of Saturday's game, and that was the match between Newcastle and Liverpool. Now Newcastle gave it a really good go. It can be argued they had some decisions go against them, like the possible handball by Alexander-Arnold and the possible wrongly given free kick from Fabinho that led to the goal, but that doesn't matter because Liverpool have now won the game 3-2. Well, it's a bit harsh saying it doesn't matter, but yeah, they've won the game, and unfortunately Newcastle's work was cut out. Now Newcastle's work was actually really good. Salomon Rondon was getting on the end of crosses, holding up the play, getting Newcastle winning throw-ins. All of that worked great, and he must be glad he got a goal because that was really important. And Liverpool had to really dig in, and maybe that performance, that digging in, that grit at the end, it's not always pretty football. You have to win a game by one them the game, and it could be, if Man City lose on Monday, could see Liverpool champions. First game of Sunday's action saw Chelsea go up against Watford. Now Chelsea were in the end 3-0 winners, a valiant victory that saw them take the third place in the top four and get them confirmed top four for next season. And it was a very convincing display, especially in the second half. Watford actually played very well against Chelsea in that first bit. They forced a world-class save of Kepa Arrizabalaga, and Sarri will certainly be very pleased for the reaction in the early minutes of the second half, which saw balls going into Higuain time and time again, and they managed to get the job done. Congratulations to Chelsea. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to them over the summer, with now that they have a transfer embargo. But yeah, it must be very interesting to be a Chelsea fan right now. Chelsea fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Now Sunday's second game was between Huddersfield and Manchester United. Now Manchester United are going through a really torrid time at the minute. They're not finding the right form or the right strides to win any games, and they actually played some good stuff in the first kind of 15-20 minutes, but then they just dropped off and allowed Huddersfield back into the game, lost concentration, especially from that corner leading up to the goal, and it's just not good enough for Manchester United. Losing concentration, I know it sounds really base, but you've got to have the right amount of concentration, or the full amount of concentration in a game to win games. It's as simple as that, and United are not doing it. And I don't know what's going on, but there needs to be a major overhaul in the summer to make sure they get into that top four, because a club like Manchester United need to be in the top four, to be brutally honest. And I know I'm sounding very blunt, but it's nothing but the truth at the minute. Do you think Manchester United can bridge the gap into the top four next season? United fans, let me know in the comments. But for now, it was Huddersfield 1, Manchester United 1. Now on to the next game. The next game was between Arsenal and Brighton. Now Arsenal will really rue some missed chances in this game, especially the one with Aubameyang's 7-yard efforts. He really should have scored that that goal to put Arsenal right back in contention for the top four, but the players kept fluffing it throughout the game. The Arsenal defence and the midfield, you can talk about it throughout the whole season, to be honest. There's just not enough steel in this team to get the vital points in these vital games, especially away from home. But it's continued into this game by the looks of it, to be brutally honest. So, and they haven't been beating the top 6 clubs either, apart from the win against Chelsea the other month, and the one against Napoli. But that's about it, to be honest. I wish Arsenal well into the next season, but I'm sick and tired of just saying Arsenal, the defence, the midfield is not good enough, because it needs to be good enough. They have to bridge this gap. And yeah, I'm not sure. Arsenal fans, let me know what needs to be done around the next couple of summers, how much money needs to be put in the club. But for now, it was Arsenal 1, Brighton 1.